Yes, I did it again. But you know what? Before I came on this morning, I had a completely different title to this stream. And I'm looking through the Twitter trends and I am going, what the hell is going on? And you know what? We're going to find out together right after I play the intro. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dawg studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dawg Knight. All right, stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dawg Knight, also known as Marty, also known as that guy in that funny-looking TV set. And yes, it is Tuesday, November 26, 2019. And so, as I was saying, I was on Twitter this morning before I started the show, and I had a completely different direction I was going to take this today. But then I saw something trending on Twitter that kind of got me cracked up. And it is the trend on Twitter that says Pete Buttigieg is a lying motherfucker. And I'm like, oh my God, what did Pete do now? And I went into the hashtag, and there's some people just not happy. And then I figured out that there's a Root article that people are talking about. And it's fairly brutal because, now remember the other day, I think it was just before the Democratic debate, the last debate, Pete Buttigieg put something out saying that there's he had 400 African American or black people, whatever, how you want to address us, that were endorsing him in South Carolina. And then we find out that some of those people on that list were like, what the hell are you talking about? We're not here supporting you. What are you talking about? That some of the people on the list were like, hey, and then some of the people on the list weren't even black people. But so Pete has an issue in the black community because then they did a poll in South Carolina and it had all the candidates on here and the percentage of support. And guess who's at the bottom? It's Pete Buttigieg with a goose egg, 0%. 0% support, in spite of the fact that he supposedly had 400 people who were endorsing him in South Carolina. And so this article from the Root, now, the caveat, there's my caveat. This is a Root article, of all things. So, the Root is very... let's just say it has a side to it, and it's in theory pro-black, but I don't agree with a lot of stuff that goes in the Root. I think I don't think everything in the Root is helpful, but regardless, it is a black-centered website with articles and editorials. So we're going to get into that in a second, but first, let's say good morning to everybody. R.I. Terrapin. Apparently, that's Victor. Got here first and gets the bell. Good morning. And Zombie Teddy, you were close, man. You were close. But you were not first. But you're still, you're right in my heart, brother. Also, good morning to Rolling Bear, Diesel Dave, Johnny Hellcat. Oh, we got a donor. And there's my top donor of the day. And you get to see my new little GIFs that I use, or GIFs, whatever the hell you call them. That announce my donations. And you know what? You're just gonna have to find out what they are. Now that's for that one is specifically for whoever the top donor of the day is. Now, if you like that, thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Oh, what the hell did I do here? I gotta make it so I can read what the hell you put there. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat, for the $10 Streamlabs tip in the tip jar. Now, I noticed I changed the tip jar to a stocking because I just thought, it's Christmas time and we need to support the channel. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat, for the $10 with the quote, "Can actually make it this morning. I'm probably going to lurk, but I'm here." Thank you so much for the $10 Streamlabs tip in the tip jar. Every little bit helps. I got to buy a new computer. So thank you so much for the $10. And like I said, the tip jars, I have a whole bunch. It'll just be a surprise, okay? It'll be a surprise. You'll just have to see what it is. So anyway, but that the one you just saw, that goes for the top tip of the day, and that one will play for anyone who beats that one. So anyway, let's get back. Oh, I'm still saying good morning to everybody. Good morning, Havoc, Vladimirovich Stalinov. Woohoo! And good morning, Green Badger Outdoor. Good morning, Cynical Lindsay. Axonar, that's someone I don't see that often. I'm glad you're here. I'm not, maybe have I seen that name before? I don't know. You might lurk in the background, or you just might be new. Hey, Axonar, if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell right after that so that you'll get notifications if you're not already subscribed. And also, good morning, Richo. Good morning, Green Badger Outdoors, Marsupio Gamer, Dawg, Johnny Hellcat. I think I already said hi to Johnny Hellcat because Johnny Hellcat threw me a 10 spot for the in the old tip jar. That's awesome. And good morning, Check Your Logic, and Circus Zero. So we got a whole bunch of people. We got a whole bunch of zero. Yeah, you got to tell Jack Cochran. I actually when I put that particular one in there, I was thinking of Jack, and I was like, oh, he would love this, but you know, he's never up this time of day anyway. So let's get back to Pete Buttigieg. Okay, so on Twitter, trending number 6 is the phrase, "Pete Buttigieg is a lying MF," and you know what MF stands for. And oh my goodness. So there's an article in the Root, and let's see this. Let's just go through a couple of these. Harriet Tubman's burner account says, "Never in my life have I read an opinion column, gasped, and repeatedly shouted, 'Oh shit!' Michael Harriot is one hell of a writer, but this one about Mayor Pete will go down in history as one of his best. Every mofo ain't able." Well, I guess we'll find out after we read the article. I've read the article. There's some things I disagree with in it, but I get Michael Harriot's point. But I also get Pete Buttigieg's point. So anyway, Erica Joy says, "It proves men like him are more willing to perpetuate the fantastic narrative of Negro neighborhoods needing more role models and briefcase carriers than make the people in power stare into the sun and see the blinding light of racism." Yeah, that's a line from the article. I have a little bit different take than that, but hey, Jason Johnson says, "Welp, it would appear that Mayor Pete's black problem isn't new. It's long-standing." Oh my! So let's get into the article because this is brutal, brutal. Buttigieg. All right. Muttering fool. What? Am I muttering? Is that me? Are you talking about? Are you calling me a muttering fool? Okay, whatever. Let's go. Let's talk about Pete Buttigieg. So, Pete Buttigieg is a lying motherfucker. Let me make this. Can you see that okay? No, I got to cut it off. Let's do a full screen on this one. All right. So, this is by Pete Buttigieg is a lying MF by Michael Harriot from The Root. $7,322. I hid it in a white Piggly Wiggly bag in the back of the dishwasher. Every single time I returned to that tiny apartment, I opened up that Navajo white Kenmore dishwasher and made sure it was there. It was not a gift. It was not a reward. It wasn't even mine. And it still wasn't enough. Oh, okay, I got you, Hexnar. I'm like, what, buttering fool? Okay, no, motherfucker. That's what it stands for, motherfucker. Anyway, and it still wasn't enough. I am from what most people call the hood, the bad section of town. You know, where black people live. During the crack revolution of the late 80s, to get to school every day, I would give a friendly nod as I walked past the early rising dope boys. I meandered through the projects, and if it had recently rained, I waited for someone to help me put a 10-foot-long wooden plank across the ditch that separated the black part of town from the bucolic neighborhood where the only high school in town was located. If no one was there, or if a prankster had hidden the makeshift bridge, then I had to either leap across or walk the long way around, adding an extra 15 minutes to my morning walk. Our neighborhood had no bus, so either you walked that balance beam between the project, it took the 30-minute stroll, or you said, fuck it. I never said fuck it. Meaning he went to school. Michael Harriot went to school, okay? But if I did, it wouldn't have been because of a lack of role models. If I had chosen to keep my mama's lights on instead of making my daily trek, my decision wouldn't have been based on a topological dearth of motivation or communal ambivalence. As I grew older, I realized that I was not gifted, talented, or even diligent. I'm just a lucky motherfucker. Presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg is a lucky motherfucker too. He attended one of the best private schools in the country that was quite literally on the campus of one of the best colleges in the country, the University of Notre Dame, where his father worked as a professor for 29 years. His mother taught at an even better school, more elite school. And if you ask how he got into Harvard or became a Rhodes Scholar, Mayor Pete would probably insist that it had nothing to do with whiteness. He would likely tell you that he valued education and had great role models, both of which are probably true. There's no question that he is intelligent, hardworking, and well educated. But he didn't have to jump a ditch. Now, I'm going to just stop here a second. Whether he had to jump a ditch or not, anyway, we're gonna get away from this apples and oranges comparison. But anyway, let's keep going. When a clip surfaced of Buttigieg explaining why Negro kids fail at school so often, his answer made perfect sense. Kids need to see evidence that education is going to work for them, Buttigieg explained whitely. Now, I say the same damn thing. So this annoys me that he's dismissing this thought, because I agree with this point. But anyway, he explained whitely. Again, this is a pro-black brother. When he was running for mayor in 2011. You're motivated because you believe that at the end of your education, there is a reward. There's a stable life. There's a job. And there are a lot of kids, especially in the lower income minority neighborhoods, who literally just haven't seen it work. There isn't someone who they know personally who testifies to the value of education. Now, you'll see as we get into this article what Michael Harriot believes, why he believes that's a lie. Okay, but here's the clip. You can probably see it right here. Let's see if he's got it. Now, let me just cut that off for a second. If Pete probably just should have said lower income neighborhoods, granted he added minority because there is a large percentage of. Okay, hold on. Let me change this up. A relative. Oh, no sound. Oh, here you go. Sorry about that. Relatively, let's play that. I'll play it again. Hang on. Here we go.
The kids need to see evidence that education is going to work for them, right? So you see a lot of parts of town.
That's part of the motivation.
Yeah, because you're motivated because you believe that at the end of your educational process, there's a reward, there's a stable life, there's a job. And there are a lot of kids, especially the lower income minority neighborhoods, who literally just haven't seen it work.
Now, I wish you would have just said lower income neighborhoods. My point was going to be, that while the poverty rate among African Americans is higher than other minority groups, still well over 70% of African Americans, 73% or whatever, are middle class or higher. So, not all low income people are minorities, and it's not just in cities. If you think of the Appalachian Mountains, what am I saying? In the hills of Kentucky, where there's poor people too. Same thing. Do they value education the same way people who have the role models who value education are? Well, no. But I digress. Let's see what the rest is. This he said.
There isn't somebody they know personally
and I think that's
who testifies to the value of education. So yeah, you bet.
Okay, so, all right. Now, here he continues. I want to be clear. Pete Buttigieg is a lying motherfucker. He's not missing words, is he? This is not a misunderstanding. This is not a misstatement. Pete Buttigieg went to the best educational institutions that America has to offer, and he, more than anyone on the goddamn planet, knows that everything he just said is a bald-faced lie. Okay, why is it? That's bullshit. That's not a bald-faced lie, and I'll tell you why in a minute, because there's a part that kind of annoys me where Michael Harriot's going here, all right? He says, okay, he continues, minority schools receive $23 billion less in funding than majority white schools. According to a recent study by EdBuild, which edbuild.com or edbuild, I don't know what edbuild is, edbuild.org. Black students in Indiana, the state where Buttigieg serves as mayor, and across the country are disciplined more harshly than white students. Yes, more often, but I'd love to see what the multiple offender issue is on that. Believe me, I went to an inner city school, and probably the reason more black kids got in trouble because more of us got in fights. More of us did shit that we shouldn't have been doing, and I'll keep going. But even though Buttigieg has never attended a school with more than 10% black students, he thinks he knows what's stopping black kids from achieving their educational dreams. You know what? I did go to a school, at least a high school. Now, my elementary school, I was one of 4 black kids until third grade. There were only 4 black. And actually, no, there were 4 black kids at my school when I was in kindergarten and first grade, and then my sister and the other girl who were in 6th grade went on to junior high. So there was just 2 of us in 2nd grade, and then in 3rd grade there's about 8 black kids moved into the school district. But whatever. And then by the time we got to junior high, there was busing, and so that my school, whatever. And then by high school, I went to an inner city school on my own because it was probably the best educational opportunity I had. But anyway, I'm going out of track here. Let's see what he continues with, though. Disciplined more harshly than white school, but even though Buttigieg has never attended a school with more than 10% black students, he thinks he knows what's stopping black kids from achieving their educational dreams. I'm reading that again. Apparently, it's not the fact that the unemployment rate for black college graduates is twice as high as the unemployment rate of white grads. Well, let's see what he links here. He links race and ethnicity and higher education, a status report. What is this dated, though? Let's see when it's dated. Let's see here. What's the date of this? It's from about the American Council on Education. This research is from I can't find a date on it. Oh, well, it goes into 2016. Let's see. In 2016, the unemployment rate for white graduates ages 35 to 44, whose highest degree was a bachelor's degree, was lower than that for black. Okay, 2.7% to 5.1%. Now, granted, it also that it probably varies by degree. I'd like to know if someone with the two people with the exact same degree program with the same work history in the same industry. That's the only way to test that. You cannot test just average amongst all, just like they do with the wage gap for, they talk about the women make 77 cents in the dollar of men. Well, you can't. That means nothing because you're averaging everybody across every line of job, across every level of education. A graduate who took African American studies versus a graduate in civil engineering or whatever, their job prospects are going to be different. Okay. Also, or if they're in grad school, you're considered unemployment. Especially a lot of black women go to grad school, so I don't know. Let's see. Overall, whites and Asians had the highest median annual earnings, while American Indians, Alaska Natives, and Hispanics had the lowest overall median earnings. So again, unless you're comparing apples to apples in every single category, I don't. That's just one of those. That's just like the wage gap to me. Anyway, black college graduates are paid 80 cents for every dollar a white person with the same education earns. Now that's a tricky one too. The same education. What? Okay, so does that mean the same education meaning a bachelor's degree or a high school diploma? Or a lot of people, it's kind of always been one of those things that, and my mom tried to have me do this when I was graduating from college. Well, you could get a government job because government jobs are very, very steady and they do this and this, that, and you got great benefits and you got a pension, whatever. Okay, but that's not the same as going out and getting a job in the private sector. And a higher percentage of black people work in government jobs. Okay, well, government jobs don't always pay as much. They have better benefits in the long run for the most part, but they don't pay as much when you're in there. So by saying 80 cents for the dollar for every white person with the same education, that doesn't mean anything. Bill Gates is a college dropout. Okay? Does he make a lot more money than other people who are college dropouts? Well, yeah. So that means nothing. White people leave college with lower debt and higher earnings. That could be. You know what? Here's a problem with that though. We get into the reparations talk sometime, and I understand why people think that's not necessary. But there's one area where we've been kind of getting reparations for a very long time, and that's in the scholarship areas. And, I don't know why. Well, white people leave college with lower debt because, again, a lot more, probably higher level of income in their families, whatnot. But, man, I'll tell you, every school that we looked at, and when my son was getting ready for college, had ways that had special scholarships for African American, high achieving African American students. And I'm sorry, but it's like, that's one of the things we were able to take advantage of. My son is an extremely good student. Got his entire tuition paid for. Not his room and board. We still had to pay the room and board, but his entire tuition was paid for by the school because he was very smart, and we took advantage of that. Now, should I feel bad about that? No, because it's there. There's my son got 4 years of reparations from his college. Let's put it that way. White kids get more resources. Get more resources, more advanced classes, and have access to more technology. But Pete says it could all be solved with a vision board. Mayor Pete's bullshittery is not wrong. It is proof. It proves men like him are more willing to perpetuate the fantastic narrative of Negro neighborhoods needing more role models and a briefcase carriers than make the people in power stare into the sun and see the blinding light of racism. Okay, now, here's where I'm going to make my point. And I know my fellow black people are going to get mad at me when they hear me say this. Some are going to be like, right. So every year in the United States, in some of the supposedly worst schools in the country, there are kids who excel, get into college, probably get a scholarship, maybe they're valedictorian of their school, they do well, and they go on to be successful in college. There's always kids from probably every school, right? Also, now when I met my natural father in the early 2000s, my natural father is from Nigeria. And my natural father came here in the early 60s to get his master's degree in education. He went back to Nigeria to run a school that my great-grandfather founded in Nigeria. The school still sits in the village where my father lives. And then my father went on to go into the university system and whatnot. But that school is still there. Now, when I made my first trip to Nigeria and my family was showing me around the village, and it happened to be during the day when the school was in session. And as we walked by that school, we stopped and just took a look and look at all the kids in the classroom studying. And there was about 60 kids in that classroom. And the classroom and the school was just kind of a big outbuilding with a lot of desks, dirt floor, 2 big chalkboards in the front of the room, kids with notepads taking notes, not a single computer. And this was like 60 kids in one classroom. 60 kids in one classroom. And every kid in that classroom was furiously taking notes. And they were doing math. It looked like they were doing it looked like trigonometry. Okay. And every kid in there is taking notes and working really hard. And now the thing I find too is I have 6 brothers and sisters in Nigeria, and they all attended that school. My sister came over, and in fact, several people in my because a lot of my cousins went to that school too, and a lot of them have immigrated to the United States since then. And there was no. He says white kids get more resources. Well, those kids in Nigeria didn't have those resources. Now a lot of them end up going to school over here. I have cousins who are lawyers that are here, that have immigrated here, doctors. My sister, one of the oldest daughter in my immediate family, my sister, is a registered nurse. I have another cousin who's a computer programmer, all without those resources that Michael Harriot's talking about here. And then also, all my cousins' kids, all of those kids go to some of those schools that Michael Harriot says don't have those resources. And yet, all those kids excel in school. All 3 of my nephews go to very small prestigious private colleges. But they went to those schools that supposedly had no resources. So, yes. But now how racism stops you from that, I don't know. I haven't quite figured that out. Now, also, I think about my grandfather. My grandfather, and the family that I was adopted in. And I talk about this a lot. My grandfather, in the 1930s, a black man in the 1930s, went to an all-black elementary school and almost all-black middle school, and almost all-black high school. Went to college. Went to law school. Got his law degree during the Great Depression. My grandmother, his wife, got a bachelor's degree, master's degree, was a long-time teacher in the public schools. And in the 30s is when they did this. 30s and 40s when they got those degrees. When things were not good for black people in the United States. Negroes, we were called at the time. And one of the things that my grandmother and my grandfather, after I was adopted, I wasn't adopted until I was 4 years old. I lived on a farm somewhere near Dubuque, Iowa before I was adopted. And then I was adopted by this African-American family. And then also on my dad's side, his grandfather was a slave. And somehow made his trek to Iowa and ended up with when he died, he had a 160-acre farm. And so it's now granted, I am very privileged the fact that I lived in a 2-parent family. And you know what? Despite what you hear on the statistics, 70% of African Americans are born out of wedlock. Well, that's kind of a misleading statistic. Actually, probably out of wedlock doesn't mean a whole lot, and people don't get married as much anymore. No, there are people with fathers in their lives. Okay, now that's probably people who grew up without a father in life is more like 36%, 37%. But anyway, so the idea of having role models, my grandmother, ooh, Lord. Granted, my parents were both educators. In fact, my father was the first guy to graduate from his college, the first black man to graduate from his college. But when you think of what the role models I had to have, I had a grandmother who, the one with the master's degree that taught English. Oh my God. Do not speak in black vernacular when your black grandmother is an English teacher. That's for one thing. And number two, my grandmother had no tolerance whatsoever for any excuses for my grades. Now, fortunately, I was a very good student. I was very smart, and I really, I didn't have to try that hard to do well in school, which maybe in some ways hindered me in the long run. But I'll tell you what. And my parents, yes, they wanted me to do well, but my grandmother insisted that I do well. She insisted on it. And she warned me over and over again, do not come home with a B. Because my parents would probably let it slide being teachers, but my grandmother, she didn't even live with us. She for whatever reason, she wanted to see my report card when it came out. And it better be pristine. And, it was, that was motivation enough. So, Michael Harriot, I know. Anyway, let me finish this article. He says it proves men like him are more willing to perpetuate that fantastic narrative of Negro neighborhoods needing more role models and briefcase carriers that make the people in power stare at the sun and see the blinding light of racism. Racism isn't what's holding you back. I guarantee you, even if, you know what? Even if you have books that are old, those books have words in them and you can read. And even if you aren't doing the work on a computer, I know people who taught themselves to code without a computer because they couldn't afford a computer, but they taught themselves to code by just reading the books. Now, is it harder that way? Sure. Is it, the difficulties in, it's funny so like I said, I went to very predominantly white schools in grade school, although by the time I was in 6th grade, there were quite a few black kids who had moved out that are part of Omaha. But then I get to junior high. We had junior high, not middle school, 7th, 8th grade, and then we had a 9th grade center. You get to junior high, and that was just as the busing thing started in Omaha. So they bus kids into different schools. So a lot of kids from North Omaha were at my school out in West Omaha, and there was a whole different attitude about school from some kids, and it was somewhat cultural or somewhat or regional, so to speak. Because even the kids who, they supposed to be black kids to that school, but there was just a different attitude about school, and there were some very smart kids, but they just didn't want to do it. And I didn't get it, and there was a whole different mentality towards school than I had. And I couldn't tell you how many times I got called Uncle Tom in junior high. Oh, he's a Tom. You talk white. Well, my grandmother's an English teacher. She didn't put up with any of that other, not talking proper. I was very proper. I was prim and proper. Well, when you're prim and proper and you're black, then you're a Tom, short for Uncle Tom, to all the kids from the North Omaha. But you know what? Hey, whatever. You know what? You know what? I don't have to see you at the end of the day. But when my grandmother comes over and she looks at my report card, Tom or not, if I'm a Tom, I'll tell you what, I'm the best Tom ever, because I'm getting straight A's, or my grandmother ain't gonna be happy. Okay. And then when I get to high school, and I like I said, it was an inner city high school, but one high school, Tech was more, tech-minded kids, and Central was more for academic-minded kids. So there were kids there. I think of my friend who I played football with, great guy. You knew he was poor. He came to work. He came to school in dirty white t-shirts. He played football. His cleats looked like they were from the 1950s. Sometimes we would donate our cleats so he could have cleats. Dude was dirt poor, but he was smart as hell. From the hood, but he was smart as hell. Took every advanced class that he could because he was smart. And now he's a physics professor at a university. You know what? I think part of it, the school that we went to, that was the culture of the school. So if you went to this school, even the kids who didn't want to be, great students, the culture of the school was that way. It was an inner city school, but the culture of the school was, no, this is a school you go to when you want to have an academic life, when you want to go on to college and go on whatever. So that's one of those things. It's like the idea of role models. Yes, role models are important. And if it's not a role model that's in your neighborhood, well, think of a role model that's not in your neighborhood. I got into a discussion about Dr. Ben Carson. And Dr. Ben Carson's probably one of the most amazing people in America right now. And regardless what you think of what his work with HUD and the Trump administration or whatever, but he grew up in the projects, ended up going to college, getting a medical school and all this, and became the world's greatest neurosurgeon. he's the first neurosurgeon to separate two conjoined twins that were joined at the head. He separated those. He's the first surgeon to do a in utero spinal surgery on a developing child in the womb. There's no one even compares. But now, because he's part of the Trump administration, he's shunned by the black community when he should be a shining role model. But there's all kinds of people like that. Yes, we have the entertainers that are role models, and yes, we have the TV personalities and movie stars and sports figures. But you know what? I want kids to know about Ben Carson. I want to know kids about, great business opportunities. The dude from the Shark Tank, I can't remember his name, that came up with FUBU. I want people to know about him. I want people to know about the great businessmen. I wanted them to know about Herman Cain. I want them to know how even people like Jay-Z, who's a music legend, I want them to know how Jay-Z built his business, not from the shit he was doing before he was in that. So this annoys the shit out of me when I read Michael Harriot writing this. But anyway, he says this is not just a lie of omission. It is a dangerous precedent. This is why institutional inequality persists. No. Okay, so hey, Michael Harriot, then you should be supporting school choice then. Okay, right? Is that what you're saying? White kids get more resources, more advanced classes. No, they take more advanced classes, and that's why they're available. Now, maybe it's different because I think here in Minnesota we fund schools slightly different. Yes, you go by school district, but by your whatever school district tax, property taxes. But there is some state funding that Damon Dash, not Johns, Damon Dash. Damon Dash, is that his name? Thank you, RVA. And by the way, hi RVA. And hi Straight Sith Male. But but in Minnesota we do have school choice, so to speak, because we have open enrollment. So, if your kid's in this district and you're not happy with how that district is, you can go to another district. Okay. Now they don't necessarily provide transportation to every district, but it's an option. And I think kids take advantage of that here. But so anyway, he says, not because of white hoods and racial slurs, it is because this insidious double talk erases the problem by camouflaging it. Well, you know what? The problem isn't always external either. Okay? I don't think Pete's wrong here, because it is painted as a problem of black lethargy and not white apathy. What? Hey, you know what? How about we empower ourselves and stop waiting for white man to fix our problems? Okay, this is one of those times I need some more black people in here with me talking sometimes, because I want to. This is maybe this will be our topic on Friday if I can get a couple people to come in, because I want to talk about this. Because it is pain as a problem, black lethargy and not white apathy. Pete Buttigieg stands over a dying man holding the oxygen machine in his hand and telling everyone, nah, he doesn't need CPR. He's just holding his breath. Negligent homicide is still homicide. Get the fuck out of here. Occasionally someone would invariably fall in the ditch. It wasn't because they didn't see someone cross successfully. It was because the banks of that ditch were slippery and muddy when it rained. To this day, no one has ever built a bridge over that ditch, but over the years, so many people have walked that same path that the banks eventually wore down and became crossable. No one ever gave a fuck, but motherfuckers never stopped jumping. Well, good. You know what? That's what I'm talking about. Then you ones who didn't stop jumping. Right on. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? So there wasn't a bridge to jump. In the summer of 1992, for weeks, those same D-boys that walked past every day collected all the ones and a few $5 bills from the guys in the block and handed it to me when I left for college. It was $7,322. I didn't have a driver's license and my mother is legally blind, so they hired someone to drive me to college. None of my college friends ever knew that I had a hidden treasure in my dishwasher, but a few of them noticed that it seemed like I always had a wad of cash. When I arrived at campus in a chauffeured 1965 drop-top Cadillac, white with hydraulics and gold specs, a couple even said, "Damn, you're lucky." They were right. Yeah, because guess what? The community supported you, and the community had a vision. Okay. Now, when I look, he said something about Asian kids up here, or no, that report was talking about Asian kids do better. You know what? So there's a large Laotian community where I live, and the Laotian community are doing the same thing a lot. And the boat people from Cambodia came here poor as dirt and live in bad hoods and have gang problems or whatever. But you know what? A bunch of those kids get the American dream. And the problem is, because this guy here is talking about how, well, you know what, we got, black college graduates don't make as much as white college graduates. Yeah, in the average. But I'll bet you you know what? My black son, college graduate computer engineer, is making the same as all the rest of the computer engineers in his company, or what they started at, which is almost more than my make right now, his first year out of college. So there you go. I don't know what that means. But you know what? And there are some of us who say, you know what? It's easy to say, well, the Asians can do it, and the Italians can do it, and the Indians do it, and all the immigrants can do it. And do we need to have an attitude like immigrants? Oh, I'm sorry. More stupid gamer. My wife says my wife didn't graduate from high school. She got her GED, taught herself how to program, and became one of the youngest chief technology officers at a company in Silicon Valley at 25. Good for her, man. That's awesome. It's funny. I laugh because my son the other day, he was talking about work, and he's, he gets home and he goes, he's questioning. I mean, the school he went to is fantastic, and I couldn't be happier with the school he went to. But he said something about, I'm doing pretty well at work, and they like how I problem solve and, do all this, whatever the computer engineering shit he does. But he goes, the only thing is, I went to school for this for 4 years, and there are so many people I work with who are self-taught. I'm like, wow. That's interesting because, my wife's a registered nurse, and she has a 2-year nursing degree because they used to be able to do a 2-year RN degree. And it's funny, she's a director of health services at an assisted living place. But every time my wife has kind of applied for a new job within her company, she's been in the same company for almost 25, almost 30 years. But, you apply for new jobs within the company. And every time she applies for a new job in the company, she says, oh, it requires a 4-year RN degree, and I only have a 2. And I said, well, you know what? Just apply for it anyway, interview, and you're so good at what you do, they'll still like you. And almost every time she's gotten almost every job that she's ever applied for within the company because they know her and they love her, and that it's the work she's done there. But anyone from the outside, they would require a 4-year RN degree. And so she's like, in the last couple of years, she's been working on getting her 4-year RN, but I'm not sure why. She's already, she's a director in one area, but, to go higher, she thinks she might need another degree. But anyway, that job's killing her. She quit that job anyway. Anyway, all right. But this, this kind of stuff, he's doing exactly what Buttigieg is talking about. You know what? If you spend all your time telling kids, well, black college graduates, have twice the unemployment rate than white grads. Well, what are they graduating in? What's their degree in? Okay? Because right now, this whole diversity push, I said I treated my son's, my son got his reparations because the school paid for his college for 4 years, and it's $54,000 a year tuition, room, and board. Take away about $7,000 a year for not even that, $4,000 a year. The rest of that's tuition. I mean, that's it. His scholarship was over $200,000 for 4 years, so he got his reparations, right? Actually, no, he didn't. I did, because we would have been paying that shit. But anyway, if you focus on and black college graduates make 80 cents out of every dollar. You know what? All right. I hate to say it, this phrase is probably get me banned from YouTube. Learn to code. Van Jones, the guy that used to be in the Obama administration, and for some reason got knocked out, but then he worked with President Trump on the First Step Act. Van Jones has a program that geared towards minority and low-income kids, where they go and learn to code, because coding is a big deal. And that's a great, okay, stop taking degree programs in things that aren't going to make you any money. It's kind of like the women who take women's studies as their majors. I'll say this again and again, because I deal with a lot of basketball players because I coach basketball. And so I know not only the basketball players at the high school, but also in the AAU arena, basically the AAU community, right? And I remember this one kid got a D2 scholarship to play basketball. And I'm like, yeah, this black kid got a scholarship to play basketball. He's a smart kid. He's going to go down there and he's going to use that degree to get a great degree. And then he'll, after he's done playing basketball, get a job. And then he said something about he's going to go major in African American studies. I'm like, oh, dude, why? Dude, you African American studies? You lived in the hood. You got more experience in African American than you need. How about getting a degree in math or business or science or something? And so like I say all the time, I think he might have changed it. I actually talked to him about that. And I think he might have decided to major something else. But if your major in college ends in the word studies, start studying menus. Because unless you get a PhD in something studies, you're probably going to work in restaurants. And I don't knock working in restaurants. I loved working in restaurants. And in fact, I still to this day occasionally work in restaurants. Yes, I do have my reparations coffee. It's right here. If you you're gonna major in women's studies. So, you're going to become a Starbucks manager, I take it? Because you're going to work at Starbucks for 10 years and then you'll become the manager. Although their turnover is pretty big, so maybe in 2 years you'll be a Starbucks manager. But thank goodness for that women's studies degree. Unless, of course, you get a PhD, then you can go teach women's studies to all the other people who get the women's studies degree, and then they're going to end up working at Starbucks. But anyway, so that's the whole Pete Buttigieg thing. Am I the only naughty kid who sees my semicolon as like a sort of butthole when they read that word? Jen, you got me. That's funny as hell. Okay, good morning, Jen. How are you? I am so happy that you're here. And good morning, MC Hammer Time. I try not to yell that into the mic. All right, moving on. All right, I'm not going to get to, I probably not going to get to any news today. But what I was actually had planned on doing before I saw this Buttigieg article is there is a person on Twitter that every once in a while I get the retweet or the like and it shows up on my Twitter feed. Now I don't follow this person, but every time I see one of her tweets, I get confused because I don't think this is a real person. Now, apparently she is, but this is amazing. It's an amazing account. And oh my God, I don't know if she somehow makes money on this and she's just like a grievance grifter. And so but literally, excuse me, this person cracks me up. And I've never seen someone more oppressed on the planet than this person. Now, before I even click on this, I want you to be very aware. And please, this is very important to me. And I'm going to read this from my description in the description down below. Important. The people I talk about in my videos and live streams are just normal people with various opinions and their own lives. I don't need help defending my positions, thus would prefer you didn't contact them. If you have something new to add to the conversation, I would love to hear it in the comment section down below or in the chat. However, if you compelled to reply to them directly on a different platform, I only ask that you do so in a respectful manner, as your treatment of them could also reflect on me, because they always figure out where you came from. Okay, so in other words, I enjoy this cringe that this Twitter feed is, but don't mention my name, please. No, it is not Anita Sarkeesian. It is someone named Syra Rao. And she is the epitome of, I don't even know how to explain this account. But so, for example, her pinned tweet is, being nicer has never ended oppression. All right, so here okay. So the one that caught my eye earlier today, though, and she retweeted this. She retweeted the Root article with Pete Buttigieg just right there. There's one here though that she tweeted that I've seen more than once, and so that's why I started wondering if she's a Poe. And she tweeted this yesterday. 2 boys, 11 and 14, were shot to death in the parking lot of an elementary school 30 miles outside of San Francisco Saturday morning. Barely any news about this. Normalization of school shootings. Now erasure. Okay, so now I read this, and now I could have sworn that she wrote this exact same tweet about a month ago, and I haven't found it yet. But so I'm going to analyze this. So two boys, 11 and 14, were shot to death in the parking lot of an elementary school. Which I thought was interesting. 30 miles outside of San Francisco, Saturday morning. And she says one of the things she says is normalization of school shootings. Well, is this a school shooting? This doesn't seem to be a school shooting, and there's no details. There's no link to the article, and I haven't been able to find it. So I was kind of trying to figure out, But so I'm looking at some of it, and a lot of people are mad. So this person says, not really a school shooting as it didn't occur during school hours. That just increases the numbers. Cali has all the laws that gun banners want and not helping. Let's get rid of GFC. I don't know what that means. I live out here. It was in the news and definitely not a school shooting. A lot of other shit going on in the area. Probably just a drug deal or drive-by or something. This one says this shooting happened here it is. So somebody knows about it. Some people actually know about it. This shooting happened at 1:30 in the morning in the parking lot. The two children were alone in a car, and the police think it's a retaliatory attack from a shooting earlier in the week. This is an absolute tragedy, but it's primarily a tragedy of parenting and community. So this is not a school shooting, but listen, as we go through some of her other tweets, you'll understand. So she's got the facts wrong. She doesn't have any link to it because she doesn't want you to know what this is. She just wants to be able to call it a school shooting because that's an agenda. Now, it's tragic when children that young get shot, but what are they doing out at 1:30 in the morning? It's a retaliatory attack? I don't know. And you're right. And school shootings are definitely not a norm. I mean, come on, give me a break. And then but I'm just I read through this. This is like, oh wow, she has one that's not a victim one. Good night to everyone. We could all use a good night's sleep. Okay. The other one that caught my eye though was her one on. Let's see, where is it? What happened to it? Did she take it down? Did she delete it? Okay, here's one. Okay, here's a good one. The world is literally burning. Black, indigenous, and brown people are dying here, there, everywhere. Poor people are having to choose between eating and insulin. Yet, for many of you, having to deal with your racist uncle over turkey is your greatest challenge. Oh, no, she didn't. Oh my God, because people are talking about having that, having the political fights on Thanksgiving, which is silly too. You know what? I'll tell you right now. Literally. It's literally not burning, right? But there was someone who tweeted something about, having those conversations over Thanksgiving dinner, which you know what? Try and start a political conversation at Thanksgiving in my house, and your invitation will be rescinded physically by me. Okay, don't start no political fights at my house because we're having everybody over, not in my house, and I don't care, and I don't want to hear. I don't care what you think about Trump. I don't care if you like Trump. I don't care if you don't like Trump. I don't want to hear about politics during Thanksgiving. All I want to do is be thankful for the people around me, that we're having some good food and good family time and some good friends and all that. Leave all that other mess at home. Because out there are guides to how to talk to your MAGA family member and how to put them in their place. There's whole guides about that shit. Nope, not here. Not in my house. That's why we have Thanksgiving in my house. Oh, and where is the damn one about the Indian food though? I can't find it. Let's see. I wonder if she got enough shit that she actually deleted it. In honor of Indian food, let's share our favorite dish. She's on this Indian food kick. Oh, here it is. Now, this one needs some sad music. Nah, I'll just skip the sad music. Here's a good one. Having white people trash Indian food is extremely triggering as an Indian who's been told that I smell weird and that my food smells weird and that Indians shit in the street, which is why everything we are smells bad. My whole life. Please. First of all, now, it's interesting. She's talking about white people trashing it. I think she lives in Great Britain. Does she? No, she's a first generation Indian American. So her parents immigrated here. She lives in Colorado. She was a former congressional candidate for Colorado's CD1 and co-founder of magazine Haven. And she has her pronouns in her bio. Okay, hold up now. Now I almost never. I live around white people. There's, like I said, in my neighborhood, I think I'm a half black family, and then there's a black family who lives over there. There's a black family who lives over there. So I live around a lot of white people, right? And the Indian restaurant right up the street, everybody loves that Indian restaurant right up the street. So I'm trying to figure out who are the white people who trash Indian food. You know who trashes Indian food? Black people. Black people don't like Indian food. They like Chinese food. They like Jamaican food. They like we like. Although this Indian restaurant's really good. I mean, for if you like Indian food, what the hell? Except for curried goat, like curry's delicious, especially curried goat. If you've never had goat's very much like beef. And man, if there's a dude that works with my wife. Every once in a while makes curried goat and then brings some for my wife to bring home to me because she knows that I like curried goat. Ooh, Lord, that is good stuff. Anyway, but she's full of okay, let's see. I just asked my 81-year-old father, a lifelong Democrat, who all his friends are pulling for in the primary. He said, nobody. We think they're all terrible. And she says, 2020 is going to be treacherous. Because there's nobody woke enough for them, I think. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Let's just find. I mean, she's got some golden tweets. Oh, okay, this is another one. A 13-year-old boy threatened to shoot up a middle school in L.A. today. Police seized a rifle with a high-capacity magazine, about 100 rounds of ammunition, a list of students, and a map of the school. The fact that this isn't even close to the biggest news of the day is telling. Does she realize? Now, I heard about this story, too. I don't know. He didn't have 100 rounds. But anyway, and this is in California. Gun law, California, right? But this was right in the middle of the impeachment shit, too. So it wasn't okay, that's probably why it wasn't the biggest news today. Plus, does she understand that not every news story in the country is national news? And in particular, if the kid is a person of color. In this case, it was. So they're probably not going to emphasize this one as much as if it's some white kid who might be a white nationalist and has white nationalist views and been on the computer listening to, the fucking Groyper guys. Okay, if one of those guys gets caught with this, it will be national news and it'll be on every major network except for Fox, which will ignore it. Okay, but she's expecting these. She's expecting these to be national stories, and it's like, shut the fuck up. It's not everything's a national story. You know how many murders are not national stories in the United States? The vast majority of them. They're not, but they're in every local news. I see little local news stories on YouTube all the time. This murder, that murder, this murder, that murder. Okay, but none of them are national stories because they're very selective on what stories go national. Okay. Here's a good one. This one cracks me up. My kid brought home this from school. Look at the first question. Didn't realize that colonizer was spelled settler. When people say that kids will save us, they forget who is educating kids. It's a Thanksgiving crossword. Now, I don't even know if I should do press X to doubt. Oh, people who have migrated to a different land from where they were born starts with an S. I didn't realize colonizer was spelled settler. The fact that this country not only celebrates Thanksgiving but also does so with such fanfare tells you how completely anti-indigenous we are. Do you realize? Okay, and you're going to hear a lot of people bitching about Thanksgiving, and I'm going to remind them that we're not celebrating. Yes, of course, we talk about the first Thanksgiving and people were thankful that they made it through the winter and yada, 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 yada. But Thanksgiving is just a day of being thankful for where you are. And you don't have to celebrate the Pilgrims and the Indians and whatever the people that back from Plymouth or wherever that shit happened, right? Oh my gosh. White supremacy created the model minority myth. It's a lethal weapon that hurts all black, indigenous, and brown people. She loves to speak for people that she sure loves to speak for people that she ain't. Hey, Syra, don't speak for black people. You're not black. Don't speak for me, bitch. I'm just saying. Oh my God. And then she retweeted Tammy Sawyer. It's just like victimhood central. This is just someone she retweeted. 2020 will be full of suffragist celebrations labeled as the anniversary of equality for women. No, it's not the equality for women. It's just that women got the vote. Let's remember that 1920 only gave white women the right to vote. Black, Latina, Asian, and indigenous women did not receive that right, and it is not our anniversary. Okay. You know what? Okay, if you don't want to celebrate, let's just focus on today then. This woman better go out and vote. I swear to God. If she doesn't go out and vote and get every other person around her to vote, then she can just shut STFU. I'm not going to say the whole phrase. Let's see. When I ran for Congress last year, white people adored telling me I should run for state legislature because I wasn't qualified for Congress. The only qualification I lacked was white skin. When I lost, these same white folks tried recruiting me to run for volunteer jobs. Oh my God. Why do white people keep acting like Kamala Harris isn't running for president? Why do black people keep acting like Kamala Harris isn't running for president? She ain't getting. Oh my God. That ain't happening. Oh, can't think. Okay, she's responding to someone saying, I can't stop thinking about what a phenomenal Secretary of State she would make. Who? My God, can you imagine President Warren, Secretary of State Hill, Attorney General Harris? Oh, I see. I want that America. Oh my God, I don't want that America. Oh my God. And it's not because they're women. I don't give a fuck who they're women. But oh my God, President Warren. You know my new favorite line. Capitalism, where people make decisions that may cause them to live paycheck to paycheck. Socialism, where the government make decisions when people live breadline to breadline. Oh, and she loves talking about white women too. White women love to refer to women of color as strong as a way to wink and nod that we can take their abuse and be just fine. These are the kind of posts that makes me think sometimes that she's a Poe. I swear to God. It's not like complimentary gaslighting. Gasmentary? Complighting? Okay, whatever. Oh my God. Biden and Buttigieg are far worse candidates than Hillary Clinton. We have not only not learned anything since 2016, we have unlearned what little we knew then. What, Hillary Clinton's a criminal? Anyway, America is like Memento, only not entertaining. Oh my God. Divisive is a euphemism white people use when they actually mean shut the fuck up. Oh my! I mean, okay. Let's do this. I don't know. I haven't seen my friend Titania McGrath lately. Maybe she got yeeted. Let's see. Titania. Oh no, Titania McGrath is still on the old Oh, you know what's funny is I haven't seen it. She's supposed to be shadow banned because I haven't seen a tweet by her. I mean, there's one from 3 hours ago, and I'm not seeing them. So let's compare a Titania McGrath tweet to Cyber Rao. Here's Titania McGrath, who is a parody account. When cis people refuse to announce their pronouns, they are invalidating trans lived experience. When cis people announce their pronouns, they are expressing their cis dominance and are thereby invalidating trans lived experience. The solution? Stop being cis. Does it sound very similar? Let's see. Let's find another one here. Okay. Oh, okay. So I wonder, did Radio Free Tom, did he say something about not liking Indian food? Maybe that's where this came from. Because here's Titania McGrath. Any white man who doesn't like Indian food is a genocidal racist. Any white man who likes Indian food is guilty of cultural appropriation and is no better than Hitler. Take your pick. Okay, so Titania sounds a lot like Cyber Rao, doesn't she? If a Hollywood movie makes too much money, that means it's not sufficiently progressive. She's talking about Charlie's Angel. Oh my God. Ignore the bad reviews of Charlie's Angels movie by male critics. Here's my definitive review. The reboot of Charlie's Angel is an unmitigated masterpiece, a triumph of feminist valor over the twitching remnants of a dying patriarchy. I can't wait to see it. Yes. Titania McGrath is a Poe account. It's a parody account of left. So now I'm gonna read one of Cyber Rao's tweets and see if you can tell the difference between Cyber Rao and Titania McGrath. Leaving out Julian Castro, a brown candidate who actually talks about all these things regularly while keeping valid racists Biden and Buttigieg front and center, giggles and claps from the audience rather than hard questions from actual citizens. Oh my God. These Democratic debates are an excellent example of all that ails America. No real discussion about the horrors of this country, police brutality, concentration camps, a foreign policy dedicated to genocide of black and brown people, a commitment to destroying the earth. Okay. Oh, okay, that's a retweet. I don't want to. I want stuff she wrote herself. Oh, Trans Day. Oh, we never did. Oh, we didn't do Trans Day of, what's it called? What the hell was that called? Trans Day of Remembrance. We never did that the other day. I meant to do that because there was, Mel, maybe we'll get into it another day. Oh, here we go. Just got off the phone with a white woman with whom I went to college. She told me that one of her best childhood friends wasn't allowed to have sleepovers at their black and Filipino friends' houses. How many white kids are raised like this? Racism is passed down like recipes. Everything she says, I'm like, where does this woman live? I think she lives in California now, which means, is California the most racist state in the country? Man, but then you get Ava DuVernay, she retweeted the racial disparities in stop and frisk enforcement were jarring. Of 575,000 stops in 2009, black and Latino people were 9 times as likely as whites to be targeted by police. In 2011, police questioned 685,000 New Yorkers. 87% were black and Latino. She's talking about Bloomberg, when they had stop and frisk in New York City, and he's out there doing an apology tour about it. And I don't know. I mean, Jesus Christ. No, Cyber Rose not a Poe. I know that. She's a dumb lefty who ran for Congress to see lost in the primary for being too far left and dumb, even for them. No, she's just literally every She's every far left talking point ever. All right, let's get into Twitter trends because I got to get out of here. Let's see what's happening today, so you'll know what's happening. Let's talk about what's happening on Twitter now that people will be talking about later, and you'll see videos about tomorrow. It's kind of funny. I say that quite often, and I laugh because tomorrow morning or a couple days from now, you'll see videos about a lot of these things that show up on Twitter trends. So it's always good to have a head start on what's happening on Twitter. Now, and they always have a featured article, and today's featured article is, and it's, I don't know if it's trending, but here's the featured article on Twitter today, and it is Scarlett Johansson admits she mishandled trans casting controversy and stands by Woody Allen? What the hell? Okay, in the latest issue of Vanity Fair, the actor opened up about her career, marriage, and controversies, including her response to the rub and tug backlash and working with Woody Allen. Okay, first of all, there's absolutely no reason she couldn't have taken that role. And I'm sorry, she got a raw deal. And I'm sorry, trans community, why can't a trans actor play it? Well, you know what? She's a big name. And it would have been just fine for her to play that role. It's acting, right? But I understand you're trying to have roles for trans women of color actors and blah 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 blah. But anyway, she has a big article in Vanity Fair. I'm not a politician, and I can't lie about the way I feel. The star of Oscar's favorites, Marriage Story, and Jojo Rabbit says. Let's see any clips out of here. Scarlett Johansson admits her response to rub and tug backlash was tone deaf. Vanity Fair then points out her comments on Woody Allen are pretty tone deaf too. Well, yeah, she supports Woody Allen, who has he is a little bit of a cradle robber is generous. He's got issues. Oh, let's see the featured part here. Here's a couple of featured parts of the article. I don't know. I feel the way I feel about it, she says. In my experience, I don't know any more than any other person knows. I only have close proximity with Woody. He's a friend of mine, but I have no other insight other than my relationship with him. We talk about this, and I suggest that as much as there is an argument for the validity of her voicing her own experience, one of the things that makes some people uncomfortable with an opinion like that being expressed is that she is also effectively saying in 2019, current year, to a woman who has spoken out, I don't believe you. So okay. That is enough of the article that I want to hear about. Let's find out what's trending on Twitter today. Number one is Tuesday Thoughts, as opposed to Tuesday Thoughts. Oh, wait a minute. I got to check something quick. Okay, there's a whole bunch of you here, and there's only a few likes. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Also, what the hell's going on here? My Google thing decided to listen to me. Oh, my God. So that one in there. Oh, my gosh. Shut up, Google. Okay. Hey, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button. Okay, if you like what I'm doing. And we still do super chats through the Streamlabs link down below. And if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe and hit the bell. And if you haven't shared the stream out, share it out. Even it's not too late. You could share it out and someone could watch it later. Please. Thank you. And why the hell did that not transition? There I am. Hi, there I am. You're looking at me behind a weird screen there. All right, let's get back to Twitter trends. So number one is Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. Tuesday Thoughts. Let's get one good thought. We'll do one good Tuesday thought. Let's see. At some point in life, you may fight a battle more than once to win. At some point in life, you may fight a battle more than once to win it. Okay, that's interesting. That's not going to be the thought of the day, but inspiration is a guest that does not willingly visit the lazy. Oh, That's a quote from Tchaikovsky, supposedly. Uh-oh, some Thursday thoughts. Oh my goodness. Let's get okay. I need a good Thursday or Tuesday thought. Here we go. Standing alone doesn't mean I'm alone. It means I'm strong enough to handle things all by myself. Okay, but if you have mental illness, make sure you get some help. That's my line. Hey, all right, and this is our last Thursday thought. Hey, how you doing? Okay, moving on. Number 2 on the Twitter trends of the day. Oh, shit. Papa John is in the news. The day of reckoning will come, Papa John's founder John Schnatter says. What the hell did Papa John do today? Good morning, Mr. Scott. How are you? I think I've seen you around before. Or Tuesday Trots. Okay. Anyway, good morning. All right. Papa John is trending. And what happened to Papa John? A day of reckoning will come. Papa John's founder, John Schnatter, says, that's the name of the person. Papa John looks like he washes his face and hair with garlic butter. Okay. I don't know what that means. Papa John was in his room eating 5 pizzas a day for 13 summers. Okay. That's not it. Papa John with the grease sweats and tipping off 40 pizzas in 30 days. Okay, they're making fun of him. They think he's getting fat, I guess. What did he say? Let's see. Here we go. Let's listen to this.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days. Living currently in Mark Shapiro should be in jail. He has no pizza experience.
Whoa, what?
Wait,
hang on.
40 pizzas in the last 30 days. Living currently in Mark Shapiro should be in jail. He has no pizza experience. He's never been in the pizza category. I would just say, stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come. The record will be straight.
Why not set the record straight now? I mean, what is it about the record that's not straight?
Stay tuned.
Okay, so Papa John is not happy about something. Didn't say right there what it was, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Rest in peace, Deadspin. Okay. He's looked rough. He's had 40 pieces in the last 30 days. What have I told you? That a man ousted from the company he founded wanted to ascend into the pizza afterlife and form his own version of the Bible, with the verse quoted as Papa John. Okay, I don't know what that means. All right, I got to find out what this is about now. Anyone know what's going on with Papa John that I haven't figured out yet? Let's see. Papa John's shirts say Jeff Baseball on it, okay? Papa John has unlocked the level of doing perfectly fine where he somehow chopped and screwed his own voice. Looking forward to his next act. Okay. Okay, here we go. Every day, Papa John wakes up and goes to Disneyland by himself. He only wants to go to one ride, the Wet. He rides Grizzly River Run without a poncho so he can feel again. After riding the Wet ride, he returns home still dripping with wet and screams at a garlic knot. Okay. Okay, nobody. Let's see. Oh, I see. He's talking. The interview is about the scandal that he lost his basically lost control of his company with. There will be a day of reckoning. John Schnatter holds nothing back on a scandal that took him out at Papa John's. Has an interview Monday with WDRB News at 5 and 11. Okay. Remember when Papa John criticized Kaepernick, then was caught calling people the N-word? Now he's on TV sweating like Pizza the Hut, making veiled threats and admitting to eating 40 pizzas in the last month because he's lost hundreds of millions of dollars. Do you know that Shaquille O'Neal is actually is now on the board at Papa John's, and so you're going to see some Papa John commercials out there where Shaquille's delivering pizzas. That's because Shaquille O'Neal's now part of the company. Anyway, all right, moving on. Tuesday motivation will skip. Last text to the X. Ooh, good Lord, this could be interesting. We'll do a few. Let's go. Last text to the X. My last text to the X was out of pure necessity, strictly business. Okay. Last text to the ex. Going there to visit my kids next week at my baby mother's house. Here you go. I don't. Let's see. I've got cranberry stuff, and I'll get the thing of stuffing. Stovetop, son. Sweet potatoes. I don't know. Might be too much. I mean, I love sweet potatoes. LL. Speaking of sweet potatoes, we'll tomorrow. P-Dawg Night's famous sweet potato recipe will be in the show. Just so you know, got to have some good foods for Thanksgiving, right? Last text to my ex. I faked all my orgasms. All of them. No. Not Shaq's not the flat earther. Who's the dude that is the flat earther that plays basketball? It's not Shaq. It's somebody else. Anyway, the interview is certainly cut. Yeah, we'll go check that interview out some of these days. Last text to my ex. That bastard was deleted the day he walked out. Okay. Last text to the ex. I've attached a diagram indicating where the clit is. Okay, I might get banned from YouTube for that one. No, not sweet potato pie, just straight up sweet potatoes. I make sweet potato pie too, though. My sweet potato pie is fantastic, but I'm just talking about sweet potatoes as a side dish for Thanksgiving. You gotta have them, but you gotta have them right. Don't buy that canned crap. Don't buy the pre-done stuff out that the potato companies make. You gotta make your own from fresh sweet potatoes. It's easy as hell. And they are delicious. Like I said, we'll bring that up tomorrow. I made a video about it. If you haven't seen that video, we're going to watch that video tomorrow. So get ready for some sweet potatoes. All right, enough of the last text with that, or the X. What's number 5? HBD Lowy. That's got to be K-pop. No, sorry, I didn't mean to scream in your ear, but no K-pop. Sorry. National Cake Day. Ho, Now we're talking. Yeah, Dennis Rodman. I think he's the one who's the flat earther. But anyway, National Cake Day. Let's just check out the cakes. Check out the cakes. Gave the bakery a photo on the USB drive to put on the cake. This is the cake they made. The difference between a yam and a sweet potato, they're just two different versions of a sweet potato. Although, like African yams, they're more like it's a root potato-like vegetable there, but they're not sweet. But yeah, there's about, if you didn't know this, there's about 40, 50 different varieties of sweet potatoes. And so, but sweet potatoes are actually just a regular, the most common, whatever, sweet potato is not actually orange. They're actually they have a white meat, so to speak. Yams are generally orange, although there are some varieties they're all sweet potatoes, so a yam is an orange sweet potato, but the cheapest ones are white, and usually when you're making sweet potato pie, you use the white sweet potatoes. But when you're making sweet potatoes a side dish, you can use just about any kind of sweet potato. All right, African yams are like taro root. Except, yeah, they have no real flavor to them. They're like, it's, when I went to Nigeria, my brother, one of his favorite foods, they call it pounded yam. And basically it's mashed potatoes, but they have a little bit more textured, they have more texture to them than potatoes, but that's what they are. All right, it is something cake day. Look at that. Ooh, that's cute. Ever watch Cake Boss? I used to love that show. He'd do specialty cakes for people all over there in New Jersey. And the nearest mall to my house is the Mall of America, and they opened up a Cake Boss store there. I was like, what the hell is this? Because I don't go to the mall that often anyway. But it is National Cake Day. There's a cool one. Oh, now that's some work right there. That's a cool cake. And here's another cool cake. Looks like a ship. I've seen someone do that before. That's someone did that in their house. That's pretty impressive if you're not a professional cake maker. And let's see, there's a cute one. Oh, bye, Irish Rose. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And this is the last cake we'll do. I don't know what the hell that is. It has eyes though. Looks like a worm. All right, so there you go. All right, that's enough for National Cake Day. Let's move on. What's number 7 is Pete Buttigieg is a lying motherfucker. If you weren't here for the beginning of the show, you just have to watch this later. It explains it all. I'm not going into that one. But the dude at the root took him down. Tucker Carlson. Oh, good God. Okay. Tucker Carlson is trending because he predicts Michelle Obama could be the Democratic nominee in 2020. Huh. Fox guest. The core question is, why the hell does Tucker Carlson still have a job here in the first place? This is someone who said white supremacy is a hoax. Why does Fox still allow him to be here in the first place? Fox anchor. We didn't bring you on to talk about Tucker. Good. Uh-oh. Johnny Hellcat. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat via the Streamlabs link down below. Thank you so much. I'm drinking red velvet cake, flavored creamer with my coffee. Sweet. I love red velvet cake. It's National Cake Day, by the way. And there you go. There's another one of my new super chat little animations. I got all new ones, and some of them I'm adding more each day because right now I just have like a few, but I'm going to have a different one for anyone who does something that ends in 99. So like $1.99, $2.99, $3.99, $4.99. And I'm also going to have some different ones for just some random numbers. I'm definitely going to have one for $6.66 though, something to do with the devil. So you know what? If you're doing super chats, you get a little entertainment now instead of just that little. No offense, Zombie Teddy, but instead of just that little zombie thingy that goes up. All right. So anyway, this dude apparently not a fan of Tucker's.
Obama, let's be honest, is one of the only people who could unite the party's warring factions.
Tucker Carlson with a bold prediction saying Michelle Obama just may be the Democratic ticket next year, despite the former First Lady saying she's not interested. Michael Blake, Vice Chair of the DNC and a New York State Assemblyman. How you doing, Mike? Nice to see you, sir. What do you think of the prediction on Michelle Obama? Would you like to see that?
Well, she's not running, but the core question is, why the hell does Tucker Carlson still have a job here in the first place? The reality is...
This is why Tucker's trending, because of what this dude said.
This is someone who said white supremacy is a hoax, and why...
Not exactly. Okay. Now, when he was saying that it is, he said the hoax. Is white supremacy overblown? In some ways, yeah. It sure as fuck don't affect my life. Of course, I don't talk about white supremacy because I don't believe in it. How's that? The people who talk about it the most believe in it. I'm like, you know what? Even if you are a white supremacist, I'm gonna live my life. You're not gonna affect my life. I'm just telling you right now. It ain't affected my life. I don't care. Anyway, this is probably why he's trending.
Does Fox allow him to still be here in the first place?
All right. Well, I mean, his opinion there is that Michelle Obama may get in this race. Do you think that will happen, or
not going to happen? Not going to happen. But I think the core question is he shouldn't be on here at all.
I get it. We didn't bring you on to talk about Tucker Carlson. I brought you on to talk about the Democratic field.
Okay, so he wanted to keep talking about the Democratic field, and Bill said, you know what, stop talking about that shit. I got it. All right. Tucker Carlson on the 2018.
Obama, let's be honest,
hey, what the hell? Okay,
one of the.
There we go. I meant to do that. Let's see. Now this is it. Yeah. See now, sometimes Tucker's got it. Tucker, the 2018 chemical attack in Syria, America almost attacked the country and killed thousands of people over an attack that may never have happened in the first place. We've been lied to. We've been manipulated. We knew it at the time. That just came out recently. And good for him. He got that one right. And you know what? It always seemed like a false flag. This is from Caitlin Johnson. Instead of doing the Tucker Carlson is not an ally dance, anti-war leftists always do whenever Carlson gets a controversial story right. How about this time everyone just shames liberal MSM outlets for letting Tucker fucking Carlson be better than them on something. So here's what he said about, this is 6 minutes. Is this 6 minutes long? That's 7 minutes long. We're not going to watch it, but he did a whole section on this Syria thing. And, was a false flag. I think that's why he's trending all over the place. Everyone's talking about Tucker because, Tucker can generate some looks. Anyway, let's keep going because I got to get out of here. Number 9 trending, off de zoinkies. What the hell does that mean? Off de zoinkings. 1 year ago. Okay, this is the album. Okay, that's an album by JID, and I don't know who JID is. And so there you go. That was from whatever. PETA's trending. Oh, God. What did PETA do? Let's see. Go to hell, PETA. Oh, I see. PETA's mad about a bulldog. Okay. PETA says he looks miserable. No dog deserves to be packed up, carted from state to state, and paraded in front of a stadium full of screaming fans. Animals are not mascots. UG Athletics must retire UGA immediately. He should be at home with a loving family. Hey, dumbasses at PETA. Let me tell you a little bit about school mascot bulldogs, because I am very familiar with bulldogs because I went to a school called Drake University, home of the Drake Bulldogs. And every year we had something called, during the Drake Relays, the most beautiful bulldog contest. It was a great contest. Some of the most beautiful bulldogs from all over the country came in to try to become Drake's most beautiful bulldog for the Drake Relays. And if that bulldog was anywhere in the proximity of Des Moines, Iowa, that bulldog would be invited to be on the field during every Drake football game and occasionally show up at some Drake basketball games. And that bulldog lived with a loving family who treated it well and had a great home, and it came into crowds and it was happy and it would, but this bulldog just happens to be sleeping. Bulldog Uga here is just fine. Okay? Just chill out, PETA. I'm sure that this dog is treated better than any dog that you have killed when you've been collecting dogs. Because PETA is the number 1 killer of dogs in the country. Strays and all that stuff. So, PETA, I got a great idea. How about y'all just STFU? Feel me? All right. Moving on. That's why PETA's trending, and everyone's telling PETA to shut the fuck up. That dog lives better than you do. I'm going to eat a bloody steak. All right, there you go. UGA naps during the game in his doghouse. PETA.
Stop.
Yo, Zen, get your boy.
Yeah, PETA, you have a problem and you should have checked yourself. Yes, PETA, y'all can kiss. Oh, Uga went after something there. Went after the Auburn player. Just remember, PETA euthanizes 70 to 80% of the animals it takes into its shelters, and they have the audacity to try to come at one of the best cared for dogs in the country. Don't mess with them, Georgia, and them bulldogs. People, PETA can eat a bag of doggy treats. All right, moving on. That's why PETA's trending, because don't mess with Georgia and their football and their Uga. Uga is the happiest dog on the planet. All right, moving on. Jeremy Hefner. Let's see. Hopefully Jeremy Hefner and Carlos Beltran can put this behind them now that they're on the same coaching staff. Okay, so apparently Jeremy Hefner's arm and bat shine in victory. He should be an assistant hitting. Okay. Something about baseball and the Mets, and I don't care. I'm going to go on. Big Us. Bernie. Oh, this is something to do with Bernie Sanders. He's not there for Wall Street. He's not there for Hollywood. He's not there for big oil or big pharma or big anybody. Just Big Us. And I'm good with Big Us. Sorry, but I'm going to remind you, as Bernie is the actual socialist in the Democratic primary field, and just a reminder that capitalism means that people make decisions for themselves and sometimes end up living paycheck to paycheck, while socialism is the government making decisions for everybody, and everybody lives bread line to bread line, except for the elites, of course, you know, they get the special food, but everyone else lives breadline to breadline. So there you go. I might make a t-shirt with that on it. That's my favorite new saying. I made that up. Do not steal my lines. You can borrow it, but make sure you credit P-Dog Night when you use it. All right? Socialism, when everyone lives breadline to breadline. Okay, Sam Dyson is trending. Sam Dyson is, let's see, for those of you who don't know, Schnuckles is Sam Dyson's cat. The account is run by his girlfriend. Sam Dyson garbage, Gabe Kapler garbage, Larry Bear garbage, Osuna garbage. Who are these people? Okay, apparently Sam Dyson has a domestic violence issue or a cat violence issue. Nope. Domestic violence and okay, what happened here? And animal abuse. Okay, apparently, for those who don't know, Snuggles is Sam Dyson's cat. The account is run by his girlfriend. MLB has a domestic violence problem. This is sickening. Here we go. Long post. I want to say a few things about this box. This was the first year I got this box. I am turning 12 soon. And this was my first time ever getting a cute box from Target. I love this box. I was able to jump on top of it, look outside, scratch this is the cat. Go under and play hide and seek. Okay, as you can see in the second photo, someone I trusted with my safety, protection, and love did the unthinkable while I was inside the box. No one deserves to have their trust broken, but to have your trust broken and not understand why the hardest thing to grasp is that at this point, Mom has put up with a lot, and some people won't believe her, and that's okay. This isn't about believing a person or a situation. This is about safety at this point. Mom took me to Grandma's for good because unlike my previous safe space, Grandma's has a safe space. I don't have to worry about getting hurt because of anger control. I don't have to be scared, yelling, and things being hurled at Mom and me. I don't have to be scared anymore. This was a preventable incident. This did not need to happen, but it did. The moment Snuggles, got involved was the moment Mom said goodbye. Love your fur babies enough to do the right thing. At the end of the day, we don't make people do anything. We can't control their action and behaviors. What we can control is how we deal with the situation. Mom won't allow there to be a second incident because my mom truly loves me enough to say goodbye to toxic behavior and people. No one deserves to be intimidated, scared, worthless, and hopeless. Please remember that everyone deserves real happiness. And then, so apparently Snuggles, this is the cat that lived in the home with this baseball player. So, and so people are pretty pissed off at Sam Dyson. Okay, yeah, that sucks. That's why he's trending. Not a good reason to be trending, people. Just a FYI, not good. Rest in peace, Lewis. Lewis the koala, who went viral in this daring rescue video, has died at Port McCain Koala Hospital. Okay. Oh, that's sad. They named it Lewis, and it died in a wildfire. Let's see. Lewis the koala was captured on video being pulled from charred NSW bushland by a heroic grandmother after bushfires died. That's sad. I didn't know anything about Lewis. So Lewis is trending. Real quick, a snowstorm. Yeah, there's going to be a snowstorm in the upper Midwest, and I know it's going to hit here. It hit the Rockies yesterday and is now moving towards the plains and upper Midwest. Snow, strong winds, and rain will likely disrupt Thanksgiving travel in some places. So if you are in the middle of the country, namely Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, and possibly Iowa, get ready for snow. Get ready for a snowstorm that's supposed to cover most of the upper western part of the Midwest. I am bracing for snow. Let's put it that way. All right. So that's coming up. What else we got? Tina Turner's trending. Tina Turner's 80 years old today. Happy birthday to Tina Turner. There she is when she was young. Let's see. This is when she was 79 years old. The show 79. No, that's from 1979. Excuse me. Tina Turner. I'm happy to be an 80. Oh, this is Tina right here. I am happy to be an 80-year-old woman. A personal message from the Queen of Rock and Roll on her birthday. So, good for her. Good for Tina Turner. Happy birthday, Tina Turner. Legend in the music industry. Ariel's birthday party. Is this something I really care about? I don't know. Oh, what did they got? A lot of sand. We've got a hot crustacean band. The Disney Princess Music and Lights. Vanity plays Under the Sea. Ariel's birthday party. Is it like, okay, 4 chances to win a Disney princess. Disney princess. Okay. Oh, I see. They're giving away something. They're giving away shit for Ariel's birthday. Okay, I don't have small children anymore, but if you want to look it up, the hashtag Ariel's B-Day party is where you want to go. If you have especially if you have little kids, they would dig that. All right, Tuesday vibes. We're gonna skip, and Cal X is rounding out Twitter trends today. What the hell is Cal X? Looking like a ghost town here at Dina Airport this morning. No planes on the ground. Oh, okay. That's because that's the snowstorm that's coming through. Oh, here you go. Blended snow totals through 7 a.m. this morning. The 23 inches in Lyons, 18 in Boulder, 16 in Loveland, Louisville, 15, Fort Collins, 15. That's the inches of snow in these places. Anywhere from 8 to 23 inches have covered Colorado. Here's some view of the snowstorm right here. All right, this guy's driving through it. This is in Colorado. This is about to hit the rest of the upper Midwest, people. Just get ready if you're in that area like me. And on that note, let's turn that off. And on that note, I gotta go. Thank you. Hey guys, I am so happy that y'all were here today. Thank you for being here on the Morning Night Live. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT. Hey, Renovatio, I didn't see you come in. Good morning. I'm glad you made it. Good morning, Jaeger Pony. And all y'all who've been coming in today. But I do got to go. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so, please, if you like what we do, hit the like button, except for Duck Dog. Duck Dog, you are allowed to hit the dislike button. Just you, though. Just you. That's your thing. Interaction is great, though. And if you haven't shared, hit the share arrow down below. That takes like 3 clicks. That's my most important one. We'll grow the channel. I did have like 20 new subs last week. I don't know where they came from. But hey, if you're one of those people, thanks for joining us. And if you want to support the channel, you can do that through the Streamlabs link in the description down below. It also shows up in the chat every once in a while. You can put it in there. I think that's it, guys. I gotta go. Oh yeah, I'll shout out to Blind Press because Blind Press goes right after me. I'm gonna put that link in the description. If you, my Canadian friends up there, or over there, or Annie Hay, or however you say that. Let's see. Let me find that before. Oh, that'd be my subscriptions. And where is it here? I know it's some here somewhere. Let's see. There it is. Oh, Blind. There we go. I'm gonna send you a link to Blind Press if y'all are want to hear some more news of the more Canadian variety. Although she does a lot of stuff here too. So there's her link in the chat. And on that note, I got to say goodbye. My name's P-Dog Knight. And I'm out of here. Have a great day. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.